Hey everyone, it's Orange. Welcome to another Rush Hour commentary. I'm actually only going to show you guys the last 12 minutes of Rush because that's all that I rushed for. My plan for this Rush Hour was to maintain High Conqueror 3 for the first 45 minutes, and then I was hoping I could do a lot of attacks in the last 15 and boost myself up into Guardian and kind of sneak in there. That didn't happen. The picture on the right is how I ended up finishing. I made some pretty big mistakes on offense and really didn't do well when it was getting close to time. So I finished rank 696, Conqueror 3, and the picture on the left was one that I took right before Rush Hour started. So first I'm going to compare these two pictures to let you guys know how the whole hour went, but the first 45 minutes were really uneventful. I wasn't getting hit that much. So in a second we're going to take a look at some more pictures and I'm going to break down how the last 12 minutes went because stuff gets kind of complicated there. So for these two pictures, for the whole hour, on offense I went 26 and 3. Two of those failed offenses happened in the last 12 minutes in this video, which is pretty devastating. And then my defense went 2 and 15. My defense didn't do too well, but as you guys know, your defense success rate doesn't matter too much. What matters is that you're not really getting hit, and I think my defense did all right at that. This week I changed my mummies to tank mummies. I was thinking about using Veramos double Rena Freya, but I was afraid of people double Lushening me. It's just going to take them a little bit of time to clear, but I think if they amp me and then wait for their cooldowns to come back up, they'll be able to kill me that second time. So I went with tank mummies. I felt like that was kind of a good compromise to defend against bruiser teams, and someone actually, I think, bruisered me. We will see in a second. So let's go ahead and jump over to the stats for the last 12 minutes when things started getting crazy. Okay, if you guys are wondering when I took these pictures, you can look at the event icon thing in the top right-hand corner. So the top left picture was taken with 15 minutes and 5 seconds left in Arena, and the bottom right picture I took after everything was over. So after it tallied up, after I figured out what ranking I got, I checked to see if I took any hits in the last couple minutes. So let me hit you guys with some stats here. In the last 12 minutes in the video that we're about to see, I did 7 attacks, 2 of those I failed. Or no, I did 9 attacks, 2 of those I failed. And then my defense got hit 6 times, all fails in the last 12 minutes, and it also got a draw. If you look at that ant guy, it says that he drew to me, and then 3 minutes later he beat my defense. I think he was bruisering me, and I think that's how long it took him. Shoutouts to FaZe Panda if he's watching this for pointing that out to me. So, but if we break it down even further, this is where it really gets interesting. From minute 12 to minute 8, my defense took 5 hits and failed them all, but from minute 8 to minute 0, my defense only lost 1 defense, which I think's pretty good. People didn't really want to hit me in the last 10 or so minutes. But I was taking quite a few hits up to that point, about a hit a minute. So I think my defense held up okay. I think this is doable to keep up with on offense. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and take a look at my offenses. I'll explain why I picked the teams I did, why I avoided certain teams, and at the end, I'll tell you guys what my plan is for this week. I'm just modifying my strategy a little bit. I'll just say it now because it's on my mind. So next week, I'm probably going to start attacking with 25 minutes left. So from minute 25 to 20, I'm just going to start warming up and picking up my pace. And then from pretty much minute 20 to minute 0, I'm going to do as many attacks as I can. I started a little bit late this week. I think I started with 12 minutes left. So if I just have some more time, I think it should be good. I'm pretty afraid of being high ranked, like into Guardian 2, because I feel like the higher you go, the more nat 5s people have, the more they have to deal with my mummies, and the more runes they have, the more monsters they have and stuff like that. So I kind of want to stay at this ranking. It might be possible for me to go a little bit higher and still perform the same. I'm not really sure. So that's my next week's strategy. I'm going to keep everything rune the same as I did this week. My runes are in the description for you guys to check out. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, so we have 12 minutes left and I am scrambling. I know that hits are going to come in and I need to keep up with them. This first defense that I'm hitting here is pretty simple for double Lushen. I did nerf my first Lushen's damage, so we can see he's only doing 7k per card, which is very little damage. Most Nemesis monsters do not cut in between my Lushens because of their speed and because my first one is doing so little damage. So I'm very confident in hitting this Praha, who could be on Nemesis. And if I had to estimate, I'd probably say 5% of Nemesis monsters cut in between my Lushens. So something funny actually happened there. The Huadam ended up healing the Praha a little bit. Maybe I missed a crit on the Huadam or something, and it caused him to survive. I don't know what really went on there, but it was just a cleanup at that point. So that's kind of like my ideal defense to find and hit with my double Lushens. I'm skipping some fire defenses here and any defense that I think is going to take too long. I was debating hitting these two with the Wind Monkey and the Aerial lead, but I have been having issues with them because, as I just said, I changed my Lushens and nerfed the first one. So together my Lushens have been struggling with killing tanky monsters like that. That team I wanted to hit because it was the Water Panda Dark Horse team, but if the Water Panda lives, I can have some issues because he can attack my Megan and basically kill her, and then the Camilla's gonna kill my Megan quickly, and I'm gonna lose that. So I think that match was probably the right choice to skip. This one here looked kind of weird. I really hope this defense wasn't one of my viewers' defenses, because in one of my recent videos, I had someone ask me if Tayor would work with a double Rena defense, and I said I don't really think so because Tayor's really squishy, and generally squishy monsters don't really work for good defenses. So I apologize to him if this is his defense. I had to double check Tayor there because I'm like, maybe this guy and maybe my viewer are onto something. Maybe Tayor's kind of good, but as you guys saw, he was pretty squishy, so I killed him pretty easily, and then I just had a little bit of cleanup to do here. So especially in the last 10 minutes, I know that I'm gonna have to do my attacks pretty quickly, so I'll be skipping anything that I think is going to take me any time at all to clear. That one I kept looking at because I was debating hitting it. And I was debating whether I wanted to take that gamble, betting that his runes aren't good. Some people's rune quality in this rush is very questionable. Like, we just saw two defenses that were kind of weird. The Praha, who didn't interrupt, and then, I mean, that's kind of normal for my rank though, but then the Tayor one. So I ended up hitting this defense here, which I think is a total mistake. I actually lost this one because we have the Molly over there with her passive where she reduces my chances of critting, which is really bad because it just slows things down. And the other team has a lot of sustain. Camilla's really tanky. Everything's really tanky on that other team, so it's basically hard for me to beat. I don't really recall what I thought when I went into this match, but I think I was just gonna try to play it out and see if I'd end up winning, because the rune quality on this guy I think was better than other people's. Hold on, let me take a look at this, because I think at this point I might still be able to win, but I think Camilla ends up proccing or something. She's doing quite a bit of damage to my Megan. Most Camillas don't do that much. Oh yeah, it's the Ritesh and her focusing Megan, and then she ends up dying. So if Megan survived there, I'd be able to win because my amp is coming up really soon. I think it's up right now. So if I had that buff and if Megan could live a couple more turns, I'd be able to win, but she got focused. So yeah, I think this one pretty much was a mistake just because of how the team is composed. Ritesh's generally don't scare me with my Lushens. I don't have problems with them, but Camilla and the Fire Anubis, and Molly can give me some issues, so that was a mistake. It's so tempting though because it is double Lushenable, but I think the rune quality was there on that guy. So I fought these guys earlier, this Fenrir guy and the guy above him, and I won, so they ended up revenging me. So I'm going to pick up these 2 wins real quick right here, because I know I can beat them no problem. We have 2 possible Nemesis monsters, Praha and Beta, but neither cut in between, and the Beta's not even on Nemesis. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to make my Lushens how they are, because sometimes people just don't even have Nemesis monsters. So this guy I already beat earlier, so I know that I can beat him. But if that Tiana was on Nemesis, I could have had some issues if I triggered her, and then she could have boosted her whole team's attack bar. Bastet could have shielded, because I think Bastet has a immunity buff and a shield. And I could have ended up losing that if I just can't burn through the enemies because that shield is too big. But I already beat that guy earlier, so I remember when I fought him though, I'm like, this could have gone pretty bad. But I already knew that I won, so gonna pick those up before more people hit me and push those 2 off my list. Let's see who I'm skipping here. I did one of the benefits for having both my Lushens on Will, especially the one that moves second. Generally, that's what people advise to do, is for things like Nemesis Verad. So if my first Lushen triggers Nemesis, like I said, generally it doesn't happen. My second Lushen's not going to get frozen. And then the first Lushen's on Will for things like Light Panda and Dark Horus, because sometimes those do interrupt me. So I'm pretty confident that I can beat this team, but if this guy had better rune quality, I could have had more issues if his monsters were tankier. If the if the Huadim or Verad survived, and if they got the shield going and stuff, but at this point it's pretty much just a cleanup. I'm pretty confident that my amputations will kill the Verad and the Huadim. So they're pretty much out of the picture. Then it's just the 2 fire monsters left, and I shouldn't have issues with them. So I killed the fire Anubis first because he's easier to kill. If I debuff the Juno too much, her passive's gonna kick in and she's gonna heal. So I'm gonna do a refill right now. I believe I only did 2 refills because in total I did 29 wings. And I think I got some from the Wish, but I think I only did 2 refills. Maybe it was 3 though. I can't quite remember. So this defense right here, pretty standard for double Lushen. The Chisun could be on Nemesis, and sometimes if she's on Violent Nemesis, she can, do her Nemesis thing and then get a Violent proc and heal everything to full. So I didn't really like this guy's defense because Theomars and Chisun are kind of like red flags. Chisuns are usually pretty squishy, so I'm looking at that and I'm like, this guy, that defense really isn't too good. I think I can beat it pretty easily. So that defense that I just skipped over, maybe I could have hit, but so let me go back to that other defense I was just talking about. But sometimes people don't really have too much to work with, so I think he made the best choices he could. If he just built that Chisun a lot tankier, had better runes in general, I think it really could have given me issues if she survived, because I'm not going to be able to kill the Kumar or the Theo because of Theo's passive and Chisun. So I could have had issues on that last defense that we just fought. This one right here is just a bad defense. I wouldn't advocate for anyone to build that because I just don't think it really works that well in practice. The Gemini, Orion, and Theo are all going to be really squishy, so my combo is going to be able to take them out. I was guessing that the Chisun would have been able to survive my combo, but she didn't because she was really squishy. Again, probably not the best runes on her. Maybe he tried to make her faster than Theo or something like that. So she died relatively quickly afterwards, so that was a pretty fast clear. Here, I believe this one was just a bad mistake on my part. I might just be betting against these people's rune qualities, to be honest. It's been a while since I did this rush. Maybe I should have done my commentary closer to when rush actually happened, but we just saw there were some pretty like questionable defenses and questionable rune quality. So I think I'm fighting this one because I saw like that stuff going on. I was thinking I can probably beat this just based on what I've been seeing, but these monsters are all really strong. Camilla, Juno, and Perna are going to be able to survive my combo, and as you saw there, they're going to win the 3v4, so I'm going to quit that one out and then start looking again. I avoid any 33% speed leads because they give me problems. I can't really outspeed them. I haven't tried with Shimate and Bernard. Maybe I should though. So this one was a mistake. I went into this match and then realized that there was a ragdoll there. So I shouldn't have taken this, but when I was entering it, I thought the ragdoll was like something else. I don't remember what I thought it was, because Leos are kind of dangerous for me too, because generally, basically Leo makes Nemesis stronger because I'm not getting the speed buff on my team, and everyone's attack bar is like the same. So I'm trying to win this match, even though I'm pretty sure I won't be able to just because of the ragdoll Praha. Maybe I could have tried to single card her and see if I was able to kill her, but generally I can't single card with my first Lushen, who does like no damage, and then kill a Praha with my second one. So I went for amp there, and then the time's almost up, as you can see, so I'm just going to sit this one out, and I'm hoping Come To Us fixed their issue where this match won't count, because last week, I think it was last week, the final match counted, so I'm just waiting till it hits 2200, and then I will leave. So that was the end of Rush. As you guys can see, I made some mistakes. Let's go ahead and skip back to the beginning real quick. So as I told you guys earlier, that's how I finished. I'm gonna have my runes in the description. The mummies, I think, did well, but I really fucked up, excuse me, on offense in the last 10 minutes, so I'll look to improve that, and I have been thinking about building my cleave team a bit more, just because of how this rush went, but this coming weekend, I'm just going to try using my Lushens again, and I'm going to try attacking a little bit earlier, so hopefully I'm getting closer to that sweet spot to figure out when things are going to work out for me, and hopefully we'll get Guardian, but, Come To Us changed the arena UI, and everyone has been complaining about it from what I've seen on Reddit, so we'll see how that clown show goes this weekend, because it looks pretty confusing to me, but we're gonna rush anyways. So I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys later.